Greetings, people of the internet. It is I, that Canadian fangirl, back again with this week's complimentary episode. All Canadian fangirl, all the time, no pay. At least for now. You want it in the future, I have monetizing. Yeah, that's a different question, but whatever. This week, well, this week is something special. Last week we talked about Wolf's Rain, a old classic. This, we'll talk about a classic for a new generation. This week, alright, leave me in. Attack on Titan! It is Attack on Titan, or Shingeki no Shojin, if you're in Japan. That's right, Attack on Titan. I wanted to talk about it because, much like Wolf's Rain last week, Attack on Titan is probably the anime that is most in tune with being a new anime classic. With all the anime we get in these modern times, the Demon Slayer, the My Hero Academia, that time we got Reincarnated the Slime, Kaguya 11th War, Oshinoko, Attack on Titan is probably the anime that's going to be fondly remembered and look back on in future years as being a classic. This is an anime that is going to stand the test of time and be brought up in anime circuits alongside names like Cowboy Bebop, Evangelion, Wolf's Rain, even stuff like Pokemon, the Dragon Balls, Saint Seiya, and okay, I'm going to preface it by saying there are no spoilers in this episode. It's not like Wolf's Rain, but the anime is 20 years old. Pause to give a brief cry. Attack on Titan is only not even 10, is about 10 years old. Pause for that cry. So, and Final Season just wrapped last year, so I am not going to give spoilers for basically what happened to Attack on Titan, because so much about what makes Shingeki no Kyojin such a good show relies on people going in and experiencing the story for themselves without having people tell them what the show is about. Brief synopsis for anyone. Brief synopsis. Shingeki no Kyojin takes place in a world where humanity has been pushed to the brink of extinction. The last remaining dreads of humanity have basically secluded themselves behind the three great walls to protect themselves from the man-eating titans that ravage the planet. And our heroes basically join the Scout Corps to essentially fight back against the Titans and basically, show that humanity is still worth it. And that is what the show is about until it's no longer about that. But again, I won't get into that because we've all seen the Attack on Titan memes where like season 1, you know exactly what the show is going to be. That final season, I have no idea what's going on anymore. And that's what's so good about Attack on Titan. Like, Attack on Titan deserves its classic status. When I say Attack on Titan is a new classic, I mean that in all the best ways. Animation, top notch. Wit Studio is one of the best studios when it comes to animation. They deliver some stellar animation. When they switched the mappa for that final season, I know we all kind of iffy because of the weird CGI Titans. And honestly, knowing where mappa is at currently in the current anime meta, totally justifies what was going on with mappa at the time, probably. But weird CGI Titans aside, mappa's attempt at Titan looks great, and considering the final season is basically a completely different story, totally works with the weird animation change. Story, one of the best. This is an anime story for the ages. Characters, immensely interesting. The world of Attack on Titan is so interesting. Everything about Titan will stand the test of time. When people bring up anime to basically show your non-anime friends, the two anime that always brought up are Attack on Titan and Fullmetal with Brotherhood. For good reason. They are both immensely able to connect with an audience that is maybe not the most in tune with what anime is. Attack on Titan especially. For a few reasons. One, little to no anime bullshit. And anyone who knows anything about anime knows what I'm talking about when I talk about anime bullshit. I'm talking little to no fan service. Looking back on Attack on Titan, it's amazing how there's like no fan service in that show. There's nothing in there to basically, entice viewers to watch. Little to no anime expressions, like anime moments, like anime reactions, sweat drops, chibi looking facial expressions. It's like, it is a story told completely straight. There is humor, but it's not anime humor. Anyone who watches stuff like Demon Slayer or My Hero Academia knows what anime humor is. Anyone who knows anything about anime knows what anime bullshit is, and Attack on Titan has none of that. Two, it is a perfectly told story that if you're not into anime, you can get why people like anime, because it tells the story so well. Which is totally why I'm not giving spoilers. Because if you haven't seen Attack on Titan and you see that first episode, it is worth it. Because no one walks out that first episode of Attack on Titan, thinking, yeah, I don't want to watch more. Everyone is like, I need to know what happens, because that first episode is perfect. It is so perfectly paced as a series. That's what I love about Titan. It's like, seeing Aeron's reaction to his mother at the end of the first episode is so well done. Watching all the way to the final season is great. And yeah, I think that's why when you go into like YouTube and you like Google first time anime reaction, it's always to Attack on Titan. Attack on Titan is like always the show that gets recommended when someone goes up to you and says, I want to get into anime. What do you recommend? And you always hear two things: Attack on Titan or Fullmetal Alchemist. Mainly because they are good enough that you don't really realize this is anime. Which is why I think, yes, in 20 years in the future, when Attack on Titan is old, it will still be brought up as a classic. It's like Cowboy Bebop. Cowboy Bebop is 30 years old, and we still talk about how influential that show was. If a show is good enough, it deserves to stand the test of time. Attack on Titan 100% deserves to stand the test of time. So, it is... I mean, I know people are like, oh, it's popular, it's popular. Attack on Titan's popularity is 100% warranted. This is a show that deserves the attention it gets for good reason, because it's good. It's not like something like Demon Slayer, which probably doesn't deserve the attention it gets. It's not something like My Hero Academia. It's not something like what's the other popular anime? Misogi Tensei. I know what's the name of people we're talking about right now. Oshinoko. Oh no, I get that. Okay, Oshinoko we can't talk because that's still on right now, so we can't talk about that. But like, I don't know. The best example for like Demon Slayer and Attack on Titan are basically both are extremely popular anime right now. Attack on Titan deserves the attention. Demon Slayer probably doesn't. And I still like Demon Slayer, and I think it's perfect. I think what it gets is wanted. In 20 years, when both shows wrap, we'll still be talking about Attack on Titan. We probably won't be talking about Demon Slayer. Because the way Demon Slayer is not going to last. Anime fans will probably still be talking about Demon Slayer in 20 years. The general population of the people who talk about anime, the general population, probably not. This is not going to be a show that people are like, yeah, you a Demon Slayer? Like, that 20-year-old anime? It's like, no, that's not going to happen. Attack on Titan, on the other hand, I can easily see in the distant year of 2050, I'll be probably 60 years old with my grandkids and be talking about the impact of Attack on Titan final season. Because they'll probably be watching it. They'll be able to talk about, and they'll probably appreciate the show just as much as I did, you know, basically in the hype. Because Attack on Titan deserves it. It's like, much like, and again, that's the strength of its world, its story, its characters. We all have a favorite kid. Everyone basically talks about Levi, and Levi's great. My favorite kid has always been Omen. Considering what they do with him, my second favorite kid is probably Rhino. I love Rhino. I think Rhino's great. You know, he's probably the best character in the final season, just because he's so interesting. And yeah, we all talk about, you know, Attack on Titan, the final season, part 1, final season, part 2, final season, part 3, part 1, season over 2 days, and Knuckles, featuring Dante from the Devil May Cry series. No one gets to talk smack about Kingdom Hearts after Attack on Titan, the final season. No! We put up a final season, part 3, part 1. No one gets to talk shit about stupid titles. I'm gonna pause for a bit. Alright, I'm back. Sorry about that guy didn't need to go listen to the watching for a bit. I'll fix this. This will be fixed in editing. Anyway, what was I? Oh yeah, so Attack on Titan. I mean, look no further for Attack on Titan than the ending of the final season was aired just last year versus Demon Slayer Hardcore Training Arc ending was just wrapped this week. Final season part 3, part 2 is still resonating with me 6 months after it aired, and I'll probably still be thinking about that. Demon Slayer will probably be in a month. And this is not a fair comparison because they're two different shows, but it does show that if you have a good story, anything is possible. My god. Attack on Titan. What else is there to say about Attack on Titan that without going into spoilers? It's like, it's just a masterfully told story that is so well done. I could watch it 3 or 4 times. I have watched it 3 or 4 times. And it still resonated with me as strong as it was when I saw that first season. Mainly because it's like, it's just so good. It's like, yeah, Ellen Yeager, our main character, is kind of an obnoxious idiot, and as much as we all like, oh, Ellen's kind of cool for the main character, like, you know, Ellen's an idiot. It's like, I don't think I've ever met a single person who said Ellen's their favorite character, but Ellen had this really compelling arc, and I'll say this, Aelin as a protagonist is probably a contender for one of the best main leads in an anime. It's like if you had to if I had to basically put him on a list with like one of like one of the shonen and anime protagonists, he'd be in the top 10 because his his whole story is just that good. It, like he's got 3 seasons of being this really compelling, interesting character, and then you get to see, and then you get to the final season. Well, everything about Aelin is basically basically thrown into question, and you're sitting there, it's like, and then you get to the very final moment, and you realize exactly what Ishiyama was doing, and it's like, no, he's a good lead, like Aelin. Okay, like it's just talking about. I respect him as a lead. I respect him as a protagonist. I'll say this: watching the OVAs, which really great. I think Studio Wit did a great job with what they had to do with the OVAs. Like it was just no, but it's some great, foreshadowing. There's some fun episodes with that out the cadets. Forget the Annie one, the Macabre episode are great, but watching the No Regrets Part 1, Part 2, the OVA about Levi, it makes you realize just how good of a character Levi Ackerman is. Like, I mean, and we all know that. I think Levi's a fan favorite character. Like, I think everyone coming out of Attack on Titan is like Levi's the best. But man, when you see No Regrets and you see where Levi started to knowing where he ends by the time the final season wraps, Levi could have been easily the main protagonist of Attack on Titan. It could have been following him the entire time because he's got a really compelling shonen arc, which like no, his story's really good, and you also realize by the time you get to the end of the final season, it's like that dude's probably got so much survivor's guilt. like even in No Regrets, you're watching and Levi's introduction. It's like it opens really heavy with him, and they keep piling it on. It's like, man, like I'm not saying they should have. Okay, slight spoiler, but no, okay, I'm not saying they should have. I'm not saying they should have killed Levi. I like where he ends up. Man, if there's any character that probably would have had a poetic ending if they died, it's probably Levi. And that never would happen because he's the fan favorite character, but it's like, man, by the time you get to the final season, like, Levi's probably a character that probably should have died. Because it's like, man, when you realize when you realize what he's going through, when you realize everything that he's went through, it's like, yeah, it's like, oh, that's a guy who probably would have agreed death, at the end. It's like, yes, take me. With one minute, like, they didn't do it. I mean, well, with like, I'm the thing. You can't. Again, Levi's great. Again, all the characters are great. Like Owen, Makatha, John, Connie, Asha, Rhino, Bosos, Connie, Moko, Puzzle Cry, Krista, Yamil, all of them with a good character. Those in a world that's harsh. I mean, the world of Fraser Makatha, the world is cruel. It is a world that is supposed to be cruel. And I've always said that about Attack on Titan, particularly when you get to the final season and you realize you have no idea what the story's going. It is a really good shades of gray. Because it's not one side or the other. I don't know who I'm supposed to be rooting for, and I kind of like that because it's complicated. It's not like Owen's right, MacArthur's right, Owen's right, they're right, the other side is wrong, Titans are evil. It's like, no, it's more nuanced than that, and it works. And like, not all anime needs to be shades of gray, but I think that's what makes Attack on Titan stand out, and that's why it's so good. Of course, I say Aon is right. I'm gonna trigger a shit ton of fanboys who will really upset with the final season. I won't go into spoilers basically what happened, but it's like I'm not gonna go into depth into what happened, but it's like I disagree with all that. It's like, particularly the guys who basically have the whole fascism thing. It's like you do know Attack on Titan is an anti-war story, right? I know there's a lot of violence in Attack on Titan. At the end of the day, they're preaching anti-war. They're going against war. The whole point is that to show what this does and why it's not good. It's not making an argument for fascism. It's not. We're not sitting there basically talking about how this one guy is right and this is something what people want. It's like, no, that's not the point. If you're a neo-Nazi basically looking for fascism Attack on Titan, no, that's not the point. Although if you're in that group, I don't. Or if you're listening in that group, I don't care. It's like okay, if you've been. I'm not gonna get the neo-Nazi that's like you guys do what you do. I'm against that. I think I'm not gonna say this like fascism is good because it's not good. Well, I'm not gonna get into that because that's bullshit. I'm not political. Okay, I brought neo-Nazis. I have to make it political, but it's like, please don't read politics into this. If it's politics, okay. If you're commenting with politics, if you're gonna leave a comment about politics at the end of this video, I can't stop you. Just keep it polite, and don't be flinging insults at people. Because I know Attack on Titan basically got a lot of mixed criticism when it comes to the ending. Most of this being with a bunch of politics stuff and the character beats with I kind of like, but I won't get into that because I don't want to get spoilers. Like, Attack on Titan is still relatively new, and there's no reason for me to basically go into spoilers. So if you want to know, go watch it. It's available on Crunchyroll. It's probably available on Blu-ray and DVD, so if you can find the physical media of it, go ahead. I haven't seen the live-action movie, the Japanese one. I thought it's not good. If anyone knows where I can watch the Japanese movie, let me know on like social media or in the comments, something like that. But that's it. But yeah, no. I kind of knew Attack on Titan was going to be special when I first started watching it. I'll say this, because I started watching it on Netflix, because the first season is available on Netflix. Now, that's the only season. It's only the first 25 episodes, which, if you want the rest of it, you have to go to Crunchyroll, but whatever. Watching it on Netflix definitely gave me something that was really interesting, because it's like, okay, this first season is interesting. Definitely want to know where this is going. Then we had that 5-year gap where there was nothing, because season 2 took like 5 years. But season 2 escalates, season 3 escalates. By the time we get to the final season, it's like, I have no idea where we're going. I have no idea what's happening anymore, because it's like, oh my god, what is this? But you know, I love Attack on Titan. It's like, I found the Wings of Freedom on the shirt. It's a really nice shirt with the Wings of Freedom on it. I'm repping Scouts. I dedicate my heart to the Scouts. I got a blanket. I'll probably share on social media a couple of pictures of my cosplay of Alien Diego. Final season Alien Diego, mind you, because I think I can probably do that cosplay, because I can do that. Because final season Alien Diego basically kind of looks more, it's definitely more attainable because I don't have to sew. I'll show that if you want. I'll show that if you want to see pictures of me in cosplay. But yeah. One of those animes that I am so glad I caught live and was able to stick with, while it was airing, because there is clearly going to be... There has been no show like Attack on Titan in a long while. It's been a long time since we got a show that resonated with so many people, that it's probably going to be most fondly in 20, 30 years. And it is more than worthy to basically be called a new classic. So, with that out of the way, thanks for listening to me talk about how much I love Attack on Titan. If you agree that it's a new classic, leave your suggestion in the comments below. Remember to like and follow me on social media. Remember to like and share the podcast around. That's how we go an audience. Remember, no gatekeeping. We don't gatekeep this community. If you like something, you consider a fan of it. Don't let other people tell you otherwise. If you haven't checked out Attack on Titan yet, and you're not into anime, this is a perfect way to basically see what exactly anime is all about. And remember, when people ask you what fangirl do you listen to, it is That Canadian Fangirl. Which Canadian Fangirl? That Canadian Fangirl. Alright. Later, peoples!